The Virginia Senate chamber came to a screeching halt on Monday when State Senator Danica Roem, the first transgender person to serve in the Virginia legislature, stormed out. Why? A seemingly everyday political exchange between Senator Roem and the Lieutenant Governor, Winsome Sears. Take a look.
What purpose does the senator from Prince William rise?
Madam President, rise for parliamentary inquiry.
The senator may state it.
Madam President, how many votes would it take to pass this bill with the emergency clause?
That would be 4/5, Senator.
And what would be the exact number for that, Madam President?
Yes, sir. That would be 32.
All right, stop it right there. If you didn't catch it, the Lieutenant Governor responded to Senator Roem's inquiry with, yes, sir. That would be 32 votes. Now, being that Senator Roem identifies as a woman, calling her sir be a mistake, yeah. But did that mistake warrant this response from Senator Roem?
Yes, sir. That would be 32. The question is, shall the bill pass?
Senator Roem walked directly out of the chamber, seemingly in response to being referred to as sir, and opting not to vote in the roll call, which took place moments later. Now, the Lieutenant Governor didn't do it on purpose by using the wrong pronoun, or in this case, noun, and she even apologized.
I said something that upset Senator Roem. Let it be known, I am not here to upset anyone. I am here to do the job that the people of Virginia have called me to do, and that is to treat everyone with respect and dignity.
I guess it's sort of an apology, right? Only Senator Roem wasn't there to hear it because she had stormed out. Look, a lot of people still find it tricky at times to navigate the pronouns thing. It has nothing to do with being anti-trans. Even as I'm telling a story, I want to be careful, making sure I'm getting the pronouns right. But is the trans community so dogmatic about it that even mistakes become horrible sins? We invited Senator Roem on the program, and she declined. But Charlotte Clymer is joining us. She is a transgender activist who says she supports Senator Roem's decision to walk out. Thanks very much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. Tell us why you support this move.
Hi, Dan. It's good to be with you here today. First of all, I don't think she stormed out. I think she removed herself from the situation because the sad truth is that no matter what Senator Roem did in that situation, she would be criticized. If she had spoken up against it in that moment, she would have been called angry or rage-filled. If she had not said anything at all or not done anything at all, she would have been allowing perhaps a good faith mistake to go unchecked. I'm not quite certain it was good faith, but let's assume it was. She would have allowed it to go unchecked, and that would have not been a great way of standing up for her community. I felt that she did the most diplomatic thing she could do in that situation, which was to remove herself from the chamber for the time being.
And just following up and saying, I assume that was a mistake when you referred to me as sir. You don't think that would have sort of done it and let them kind of move on and allow the lieutenant, governor to say, oh, yeah, I didn't mean that?
I'll be honest. I'm not sure it was a mistake.
Really?
The reason I'm saying that.
Well, I mean, come on. You watched the video. Come on. You really think that was done on purpose?
I think that the lieutenant governor might have made a mistake initially, but the failure to address it in that time was certainly a mistake. And it actually took the lieutenant governor 2 separate recesses before she actually apologized. It wasn't an immediate apology. So I can't accept in good faith that what the lieutenant governor did was appropriately respectful.
So let me ask you big picture then, right, about the comment that I made at the outset. Do you accept the fact that this can still be tricky for a lot of people?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
okay, you
absolutely.
Do. And so you accept the fact that there can be mistakes and that people can get things wrong and that they're not doing it in bad faith and they're not trying to insult people.
That's right. We're in complete agreement. And I'll tell you a secret, Dan. Trans folks accidentally misgender each other sometimes. Like we all make what? But we all make mistakes in good faith with each other, and it's important that we're graceful. Now, here is the issue for me. It wasn't that the lieutenant governor misgendered her initially. That can be a good faith mistake. It was the lieutenant governor's failure to address it for 2 separate recesses.
All right.
It took several people asking her to apologize before she would admit that she made a mistake.
All right.
I think that we should be graceful. And I'll be honest with you, Dan, it does upset me when some trans people will rake someone over the coals for making a mistake in good faith. I don't think that's appropriate. Everyone's allowed to make a mistake, but you have to be intentional about addressing it. That's what an adult does.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.